Well, welcome everybody. Let's go back in time, shall we? Let's go back in time to 2000 when I was selling poppies for the Royal British Legion. It was not an amazing function of mine, but I wasn't doing particularly well either. My job was to sell poppies. Now, at the time, I lived on an estate. It was a very typical new estate in Tewkesbury in Gloucestershire. And it was full of 3 or 4 bedroom houses. Each house had 2 cars, 2 kids, a barbecue in the back, all very typical. And my job, which wasn't particularly challenging, was to carry a box of poppies and knock on the doors of all my neighbours and sell them poppies. Now, I've been an advisor, salesman all my life. I thought this would be quite easy. But boy, was it difficult. The first person I got to, I knocked on the door, he looked at me, see the Royal British Legion badges and box, and they turn around and say, I've already bought my poppy. Or it would be, I buy it through a standing order, through gift aid. Now, you can't overcome objections when you're selling poppies, so I just carried on doing abysmally badly. And just to show you the figures, on an average night, there you are, the figure there on the screen there. I was making about £21, which wasn't very good. But, it all helps towards the cause. Now, the following year, my wife said to me, she said, why don't you take Lewis with you? Now, at the time, my son Lewis, who, by the way, is now 20, he was about 5, and he was cute. Kids are cute at that age, aren't they? They grow up, unfortunately, to 20-year-olds. And he was about that high, and my wife decked him up in all the paraphernalia of poppies, a little box, a little hat, with a Royal British Legion sticker on it. And he looked dead cute. Hand in hand with Dad, we went to the first door, knocked on the door. Same man came to the door, but this time I could read his mind. He said, there's a man selling poppies. Let's tell him that I've already bought. Hold on, he's got a little boy down there. He's about the same age as my little boy. That means he's a dad, I'm a dad. I quite like this man. And that night, my earnings increased by up to 4 times. I'll give you the figures to show you. There you go, £87. So you can see the difference that made. Now, what happened there? It's a bit old-fashioned, we know it, but what I inadvertently did was create some common ground. As paraplanners dealing with customers, with clients, with product providers, when you're looking to build a rapport, we do seek common ground. We know this. It's been around for donkey's years. But I think we need to get a bit more subtle, a bit more elegant with our rapport building and communication skills with clients, providers, your IFA, people in the office. And this afternoon, I'm going to give you some very subtle, elegant skills taken from neuro-linguistic programming. So there's the logo of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And yes, you can go to the chemist and get jabs for it if you're at all worried about what it's going to do to you. But on a serious note, though, we've got to just 60 seconds to see how you get on. Over to you. Probably okay with these ones for you. Spend a fair amount of time talking to themselves, to digital, so let them do it. So what thoughts do you have in your head? Ask them. And they'll start thinking. Because that's what they do. There you go. They want to know if the proposal makes sense. It's all about logic, remember. What I want to do now is to give you a really scarily effective method of calibrating somebody and getting their thinking style within a handshake. And this reminded me of last week. I was in Dubai last week on business. It's just desert over there, by the way. It's taxi, hotel, training room, desert. That's all you get to see when you're on business. And I had to take a load of handouts with me. I was working for a bank over there. And I took these 2 huge suitcases. One of them had a load of handouts and books in them. And obviously I gave them out during the training. But on the way back, I had these 2 massive suitcases. Bloke with a suit on, arriving from Dubai to Heathrow. The customs people collared me, It looked a bit dodgy, didn't it, really? 2 great big suitcases. Now, I don't know if you've ever been caught by customs, but they are very well trained in calibrating people physiology. And he called me over, this chap, very polite. He said, have you just come off the plane from Dubai, sir? I said, yes. See, what he's trying to do, he's trying to work out my tell. You see, there's a tell for everything. There's a physiology tell for everything. And he wanted to know what my tell was for yes. And he said to me, was it warm weather out in Dubai, sir? I said, yes. Obviously, you know. He wanted me to say yes to my responses. And then he said to me, did you manage to get some sleep on the flight? It was a daytime flight. I said, no. Now he's got me. He knows what my tell is for yes, and he knows what my tell is for no. And he asked me a few other questions. He was calibrating me. And then the next question came in. He says, sir, he said, you have 2 rather large suitcases. Is there anything in those suitcases that you shouldn't have in there, sir? And I said, no. He said, well, thank you very much, sir, for your time. Please proceed to the exit. Didn't even search the cases. He knows that my no was not a lie, because he'd calibrated it. Very, very clever. Cops do that as well when they pull you over. You wind the window down, and they'll ask you silly questions where you say yes or no for a couple of minutes. And then they'll ask you what were you up to. And if you start lying, they'll pick it up. That's how they do it. So allow me then to demonstrate this next technique. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to ask for a volunteer who would like to come up here so I can shake their hands. That's all. And they'll get a present. I've got a couple of more copies of my book here. They'll get a book, which is great. And you just have to shake my hands. Well done, you. Thank you very much. Excellent, thank you. I love it to bits. Okay, so allow me to shake your hands. Hey, you've been a great audience. God bless you all. We'll see you soon. Thank you very much.